Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B ward, this is Mortem. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD, and today we're going to bring you the top 5 tiny terrors.
That's
the
right.
Little guys.
Not the Tiny Toons.
No, not the Tiny Toons, the little guys.
Yeah.
The wee people.
The munchkins.
The munchkins.
I'm still sitting here trying not to laugh because I was milliseconds away from saying I'm Dom the Warlock of Biffcock.
The Warlock of Biffcock.
Yeah.
Check out the last episode if you have no idea what the hell
It was like
saying.
3 episodes because we've got a couple in the can.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like
2 episodes ago.
Back. Yeah, episode 25. The 25th anniversary.
25th anniversary spectacular. But today, it's all about tiny terrors, little creatures of death,
Small
and
people.
destruction. Not necessarily people, small things.
Yeah.
That hurt you.
Yes.
That want to kill you or maim you or rape you.
Bite
Kind of
your
like
shins.
Biff.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're Bailey's
no
face.
more Biff this episode. Anyways.
We're introducing a new segment this show.
Oh, yes, we are.
For the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about or mentioning how we recently watched Pumpkinhead and it didn't hold up.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, what if we did a segment where we went back and watched old movies that we remember fondly now to see if they hold up. And so what we're going to do is we watch 2 movies. We each watched them, but we haven't discussed them yet. And then we're going to discuss their merits. And we're going to discuss whether or not each one holds up. And then if one holds up better than the other.
Yeah, and then if they don't hold up, or even if they do, the parts that don't.
Right.
The parts that don't make it today.
Yeah.
Some of these movies are great, but that hair's got to go.
Some of them don't cut the mustard.
They don't cut the mustard. So now, it's time for some horror news.
Horror news.
Yeah. I'll start us off this week with something we talked about recently. I believe it was the last episode. The World of Death.
Yeah.
It actually has premiered now at this point. Episode 1 has been released at the time of this recording. It's on Bloody Disgusting's YouTube. The first episode was 2 stories. One is called Fitness Class Zombie. It's only about a minute long, and it's a claymation about a zombie doing some type of yoga or something.
That's cool.
Its intestines are falling out and everything. It's okay. And then the second one is called Scrum. It's about...
Scrotum?
Scrum. Not scrotum. Starts off with like comic book kind of slides, and then live action about little boys who find a comic book, a Dawn of the Dead comic book, from the school janitor. So they want to break into like his little area to see if he has more so they can steal it.
Okay.
But unspeakable evil lurks within there.
Wow.
Like Lovecraft kind of style, unspeakable evil.
Nice. Like the janitor is summoning it, or he's protecting them from it?
I think he's just like keeping it in there.
Okay.
The segments were alright. I was hoping the series would come out swinging.
Right.
But it looks like they're going to leave the big guns for later on.
Ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so, because I did not really care for this episode. It's only about 10 minutes long, I think.
Okay.
But
it's not like a whole half hour show.
No, it's just 10 minutes long, really short. But I still have high hopes for the next one. I'm not going to stop watching it right away, but...
Give it a few chances.
But it kind of disappointed me, because that trailer was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
You know, the trailer looked really good.
Yeah, that trailer was a big gun, just in and of itself.
Yeah, definitely.
You know how Sparky Ballard's a school janitor, like, for his day job? I wonder if he's hiding horrible Lovecraftian things.
Unspeakable things.
Yeah, and in his school. Like the fourth Ballard or something.
All right, what you got?
Canadian Cthulhu.
Canadian Cthulhu's? That's our rating system unless you come up with something better.
Awesome.
Canadian Cthulhu, eh?
Unspeakable madness, eh?
Are you okay if I just end the world day? Is that okay?
Sorry. So, my first piece of news is that Death Waltz Records is releasing the original soundtrack to Twin Peaks on vinyl LP. The packaging will include artwork by Sam Smith, who did the artistic direction for the show, and liner notes from composer Angelo Badalamenti, who does all of David Lynch's work, but considers his composition for Twin Peaks to be his defining work. So they've taken the original score, which is fucking awesome, and completely digitally remastered it so that it sounds like perfect.
Of the TV show or the movie?
The TV show and the movie. It's all part of it.
Okay.
And they released the track list on the Death Waltz website, so you know what is on there. And then they're pressing it to vinyl, and the vinyl is like, it looks like spilled coffee.
Yeah, there's a lot of vinyls coming out that have like blood in them or all this different shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm happy about it. Especially because I'm getting back into collecting vinyl myself. A lot of this cool shit's coming out. Also, I saw online today that the official soundtrack for Stranger Things is coming out, and that one's going to be on vinyl too. I'm getting that shit. Yeah,
for sure. That was good. It really set the mood for Stranger Things. If you guys haven't checked that out yet, you need to. What are you doing? What are you doing
with your life?
Yeah.
You need to check out Stranger Things and read some Chuck Tingle.
All right. No idea what Chuck Tingle is?
He's the guy who writes books about being butt-fucked by dinosaurs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hank Skitty and Chuck Tingle.
They need to team up.
The world's greatest tag team. I have some unfortunate news. It depends how you look at it, though. The Ghostbusters reboot has made only $180 million at the box office so far out of a projected $300 million break-even point.
Oof.
Making it a huge financial failure.
Wow.
That's painful. Because they marketed the shit out of it. They put so much money in the marketing, not just making the movie. The $300 million was a break-even.
Yeah.
So, well, it doesn't take into account merchandising and things like that.
Or home video market at this point.
Yeah. It's safe to say it didn't get anywhere near what they were expecting. Yeah. They're not putting in $300 million to break even and expecting 180. They want more than that just in the theaters.
Yeah.
But there were talks of a sequel being released even prior to the release of the reboot, but it looks like that's not going to happen. It seems maybe the public is saying, no more remakes.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Stop fucking up our favorite shit.
Yeah, we can only hope that this kind of trend, maybe people are sick of this.
Yeah.
Shit being spilled out. Over and over, the same shit.
Like Michael Keaton said, don't do it if you can't do it right.
Like Michael Keaton once said, don't touch my pee-pee.
You know what, though? If anything, this Ghostbusters reboot, at least it brought Ecto Cooler back to the stores.
Yeah.
I went and I had some yesterday, and it made me happy.
Does that hold up?
Oh, yeah. That definitely holds up. I found a recipe online on how to basically make your own Ecto Cooler at home that tastes just like it. And so
I don't even remember what it tastes like.
It's its own thing.
Yeah.
The closest thing I can approximate, and only listeners in California will know what this is, it kind of tastes like Cactus Cooler. But it's still
Cactus
a little
Cooler
bit
is only from California?
Yeah, it's like in California, Arizona, and New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a friend in New York who is from California originally, and she moved out to New York, and anytime anyone comes out to visit, she's like, you can stay at my house for free, but you got to bring me Cactus Cooler and good tortillas, because you can't find either of those in New York. Apparently.
Yeah. All right, what's your next piece of news?
My next piece of news is actually about a remake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's the first bit of kind of good news that I've heard about this. Breck Eisner is now in talks to direct the Friday the 13th prequel that's been in production for quite some time. He directed the remake of George Romero's The Crazies, which was decent.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It wasn't bad.
As well as The Last Witch Hunter, which I thought was way better than it had any right to be. I went into that expecting it to be fucking stupid.
Is that the Nicolas Cage thing?
No, it's a Vin Diesel movie, actually.
Oh, wow, it's even worse.
I was like, this movie's going to be fucking terrible. And I watched it, and I was like, this movie was okay. If it came out in 1996, it probably would have been the shit.
Yeah.
So he's a good director, and he also is tapped to make the Universal remake of The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Okay.
So
he's a remake guy.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. But he's so far, The Last Witch Hunter wasn't a remake.
Yeah.
But The Crazies was good. And if
I like the Crazies. He wasn't bad at all.
If the Universal, like fuck the Universal, break its back, make it humble. If Universal is tapping him to do Creature from the Black Lagoon, like that's going to be one of its top properties. So they probably see something in it.
Yeah.
They're not going to fuck with that. So yeah, they're still shooting for either January or October 2017 for release because both months have Friday the 13th in them. Though October is more likely given the delays that have been going on.
Yeah, and it's close to Halloween.
Yeah.
So, well, I just said hopefully the Ghostbusters remake will lead to no more remakes.
Right.
And then you just talked about a remake.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm going to talk about?
A remake?
A remake. This one's going to piss you off more than ever.
Okay.
A remake reboot of 1994's The Crow has been on again, off again so many times it's hard to even carry.
Yeah, it's been in development hell where it belongs.
Yeah. Corin Hardy, director of The Hallow, I think that's the one you liked.
Yeah.
Is going to be directing it. Okay. And they found out who Eric Draven is going to be. Jason Momoa. Aquaman / the guy from Game of Thrones.
I'm torn on this.
I don't think so, man. You don't want a big buff guy being the Crow. I'd rather have Johnny Depp be the Crow than Jason Momoa. Seriously, like those little spindly kind of guy.
Back from the dead.
You know, Brandon Lee was he was a smaller guy, so when he's perching and stuff, like you don't want to see like fucking Brock Lesnar be the Crow.
Right.
You know?
Maybe he'll slim down for it. I don't know. Like I'm a fan of Jason Momoa. I like him. And that director's good. Well, and I've heard that James O'Barr, who wrote the original comic books, is involved in this, but it's the Crow.
Apparently, Jason Momoa has a little bit of a Crow obsession. Like he is the one who got this out of developmental hell because he really wants to do it.
Okay.
Because he's a big fan.
Oh.
Which that could be cool if he really likes it.
Yeah.
Because he seems like, I mean,
I know
you said you like him, but he seems like, just from what I've seen him in, he seems like a kind of one-dimensional.
Oh, yeah.
And not just that, but he seems like he wouldn't be a fan of this, and he'd just be getting a paycheck.
Right.
Like if The Rock was playing The Crow.
Oh, God.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson stars in The Crow. Do you smell what the Crow's cooking?
What's your name, Tom? It doesn't matter what your name is.
And then the dude, like the Crow, who I want to know who's going to be cast also, is the antagonist.
Top dollar, yeah, because Michael Wincott was so good in the original.
He nailed it. The sword and stuff. And
yeah.
He's just so
bang, fuck, I'm dead. He was actually, I think I actually liked him better in that movie than I liked Brandon Lee.
Yeah, he was the best part by far to me.
Yeah.
So.
We'll see. The thing about the original Crow that all of the other Crows lacked is that first movie, every single one of the bad guys had their own personality and their own thing that made them stand out. They weren't just nameless thugs. Like, every single scene and every single killing and every single fight sort of had its own tone to it that made it awesome. And then after that, it was just generic bad guys getting killed for every other Crow movie. So hopefully they do that right. And, Jason Momoa can slim down and if he's a fan and he understands the source material, then fuck, Well, I'll see it, because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Who would... Okay, let's talk a little bit of fantasy booking with The Crow.
All right.
Who would be your top guy to play it in a funny way? Like a ridiculous one,
Like The Rock?
Like The Rock, yeah. And then who would be the worst choice that Hollywood would choose that would be the worst?
Easily the worst choice would be Nicolas Cage.
That was mine, too. Hair flapping around like raisin hair.
Yeah. Though Johnny Depp would run a close second.
I don't think Johnny Depp would be that bad. He's just too old.
If he was doing his, like, Johnny Depp Captain Jack Sparrow routine as The Crow. For funny? Fuck.
Christopher Walken stars in The Crow.
Wow.
Steve Buscemi as the Shelley. Shelley.
Fuck, what's that guy's name? The Harvey Fierstein is The Crow. That really gay Jewish dude with like the... On that note,
From
Gilbert...
Independence Day?
Yeah, that guy. Or like Gilbert Godfrey is The Crow.
Harvey Fierstein's worse than Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh, David!
God damn it.
I would watch any of those movies.
Anything's got to be better than Edward Furlong at this point.
Yeah, for real.
All right, what else you got? You got one more?
Yeah, it's about a... So, Italian director Luca Guadagnino I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm Italian. I'm bad at this. Has been tapped to direct a remake of Dario Argento's Suspiria, starring Tilda Swinton. Argento spoke to
Tilda Swinton as
the lead. The lead witch. Which
cool.
I could see her doing that.
She's good.
Yeah, I like her.
I hate her. I think she's a good actress. I just hate her face.
Yeah.
Which is okay for that role.
She looks like
a bitch. She
looks like David Bowie with resting bitch face and some sort of
resting
nervous
Bowie
disorder.
Face.
Resting Bowie face. Dario Argento himself spoke to IndieWire, stating that he hasn't even been contacted by the studio about the remake.
And, wow, that's horrible.
Yeah, and he went on to say, the film has a specific mood. Either you do it exactly the same way, in which case it's not a remake, it's a copy, which is pointless, or you change things and make another movie. In that case, why call it Suspiria? And I say a fucking men to that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, it's very, very close to a masterpiece in and of itself. I know you, like we were talking about this before the show, you have your opinions on Italian horror, but in terms of Italian horror, that really defined that genre.
Oh yeah, I love Suspiria, and I'm not against Italian horror, but we were talking about a future list that we were going to do. I don't know if it's going to be next, probably, or maybe a few episodes down the road, but we're going to do our top 5 European horror movies.
Right.
And as I was discussing, I think my list will differ from a lot of others, because I wouldn't even put it on my top 5.
There'd probably
I like it.
A lot of French horror in yours. I'd say
yes,
that's more your thing. Like I like the Italian horror, and I love J horror, even though that's not European. But in terms of foreign horror,
we'll do that eventually. Top 5 Japanese horror movies.
What I would rather see with all of these movies that they're remaking that are old that aren't like we've talked about before, where they've got some sort of fatal flaw that needs to be taken out.
A good concept, but a bad execution, then you just make it right.
Yeah.
Like Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they should take the good ones and they should digitally remaster them so they look better and just re-release them to the theater and expose a whole new audience to them. I mean, why spend millions of dollars doing a reboot of Ghostbusters that's going to fucking tank, where if you digitally remastered Ghostbusters itself and brought it out to the theater, you're spending a fraction of that money and people would still pay to see it.
That's true. I would say, though, one thing about the old horror movies digitally remastering, like, they're going to CGI some effects in there.
They shouldn't do that, yeah.
That's what they do, though.
Yeah.
They'd modernize everything.
Like with Star Wars, where they went way over the top. They just don't let George Lucas touch any of it. If he tries, cut off his fucking hands.
Little dwarf man.
He's a tiny terror.
He is a tiny
His neck's a tiny terror.
Tiny terrors that aren't George Lucas. Top 5 tiny terrors that aren't George Lucas. All right.
He just inserts Jar Jar Binks into every single movie.
So that's it for horror.
I'd like to see Jar Jar Binks goes to Camp Crystal Lake, though.
Oh, God, I hate Jar Jar Binks. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, honestly, but like the original first 3 were cool. All the other shit is stupid, but I'm not like obsessed with it or anything. Right. I like number 2 when the bad guys win.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
But this is not the Star Wars.
I also like taking a number 2.
Yes.
As a bad guy.
You're like, yeah.
I put on a handlebar mustache and a top hat, and I like twirl my mustache, and I'm like,
as he's dropping lock, making a bucket of snakes.
There's a snake in my boot.
All right, we'll be back with our new segment, which is called
Nostalgia Killers.
Nostalgia Killers. After this.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Postmortem Podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Postmortem Podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money, we get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many, and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money. Nostalgia Killers.
All right, the inaugural Nostalgia Killers.
New sound effect for a new segment.
We're going to review 2 old movies that we saw as kids. We might remember them one way, but when we rewatched them in 2016, who knows if they're going to be as good as we thought they were.
Right, if they hold up or not.
Yes, and then if one is much better than the other, we'll put that one as the winner of the day.
The winner, the king for a day and the fool for a lifetime.
Winner, chicken dinner. So today's movies are Evil Ed and The Gate. I did not take down any information such as directors, years, or anything like that. I did. All right, so why don't you talk about Evil Ed?
Okay. Evil Ed is a 1995 horror film, Swedish horror film, directed by Anders Jacobsson.
Anders?
Yeah.
Anders Holmvik. From Workaholics.
Oh, yeah.
That's his son.
Show, yeah.
They actually have, they share first names instead of last names over there.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
Oh, yeah, because it's like Jacobson is like the son of Jacob.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
I have no idea. That's the only Anders that I know.
I was thinking Ned Anders, but that's Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders is all ripped. You see that episode where
he pulls off his
shirt? Chuck Norris, Flanders. Oakley dokley.
So, Evil Ed's story is, it's a pretty interesting story. It's about a mild-mannered kind of wussy film editor who works for a large film company and gets called upon by the gore and splatter division of the company to edit the most violent series of horror movies ever made called Loose Limbs.
Yeah, Loose Limbs.
Yeah, which I think they should make those movies in real life.
Some of them are pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's the best part of this movie is those clips of the other movies.
Yeah, for sure. And what he has to do is, because they're sending it to a European market, and they had censorship in Europe in the 90s, he has to edit the most violent parts out. So he's stuck in this little house watching these violent scenes over and over and over again, and he starts to go crazy.
And he does.
Yeah, he goes crazy as fuck. So we're breaking these reviews up into sections, highlighting certain aspects of it. And our first one that we look at is acting and characters. Obviously, a lot of the acting in this movie was subpar, but I'm going to let it slide because it's a Swedish movie and a lot of the actors were performing in a second language. And also, it's sort of a tribute piece to slasher horror movies from the 80s, so some of the bad acting could have been intentional as a send-up to the genre.
And the dub.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell how good acting is with a horrible dub like this.
Yeah.
It's a bad dub.
Yeah. And it's... this movie was sort of the predecessor, like the precursor to movies like Cabin in the Woods, that are real, like, tributes to the slasher genre. Like, this was the first really big one. I remember having awesome box art with that head being split in half with the axe, and there was all this splatter and gore and, like, a flood of brains coming out of it. But anyway, the acting is I think that the most important character in the movie, though, was Ed, of course. The movie's named after him. And I thought he was entertaining as hell, watching him go from his sort of nerdy, henpecked, mild-mannered personality to being completely psychotic. Visually, he played that well with his eyes and with his hair. And also, props to Bill Moseley's uncredited voiceover work in the Loose Limbs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
The killer in that, he was voiced by Bill Moseley, and he had some great movies. It's molesting time!
Yeah, so we did break these out and rate these segments, but I had something else I kind of like took down too. This is, a new segment, and so kind of went different directions. I did that. I'll give you my ratings and stuff like you're gonna do, but I also have what holds up in the movie and what doesn't hold up.
Okay.
So for me, for Evil Ed, what does not hold up is the weird lighting.
Yeah, I did not like that.
I don't like it at all. You got the horrible dub. Horrible fight and action scenes.
Yeah.
The fight scenes, like when people are punching each other and stuff, is pathetic.
Yeah.
Like, I think little kids could play fight. And
church groups.
Yes, it's horrible. And to me, looking back, I remembered it. I remember kind of liking it, but I wasn't super hot on it. Mm-hmm. I remember the box art and seeing that VHS tape a lot more times, so it's like classic childhood for me, just seeing that box art like at the video store, To me, it was kind of boring and hard to get through.
Yeah,
watching it,
especially the last half of it.
Yeah, And what does hold up is, don't fucking look at me!
Don't you fucking look at
me! That's awesome.
Yeah.
The shotgun scene is funny.
Yeah.
Rest in pieces. Motherfucker.
All the gore in the movie, I think, holds up. The special effects are really good. I love the stupid monster in the fridge.
Yeah, the weird gremlin thing in the fridge is what else I had. And then
close the door, you motherfucker!
Yeah. That's true.
I think the story kind of held up pretty well if you understand the time that it came from and all the censorship that was going on in Europe. And, you know, I love the fact that it was just such a huge tribute to the genre. But it did lag in the middle. You're totally right about that.
Yeah.
And, like, the last third of the movie just was like, oh, come on. Like, when they're in the hospital, that whole thing was not necessary. And they bring in the weird military guy. Apparently he was a big actor in Sweden. That's why they brought him in.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff just felt stupid and unnecessary.
I think the story is not that great.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to follow at times. Maybe it's just the dub and the culture. Yeah. Maybe I didn't really understand the censorship aspect as much as you did, apparently. Mm-hmm. But to me, I gave... So, did you say your ratings yet? Acting and characters, you talked about. I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
The story, as you were talking about, I only gave it a 2.5.
Okay, I gave it a 3.
A 3 as well,
yeah.
Okay.
Cinematography, everything is blue.
Yes.
Fuck.
God damn it.
But all of the stuff in the loose limbs segments looked fucking awesome.
I gave it a generous 2.
Okay, I gave it a 3. Also, there's a lot of things in this. Special effects, I thought the special effects were fucking awesome. The special effects hold up really well. And the makeup of the weird demon that he sees in his dreams, like, that looked really cool.
I think that the special effects were probably the best part of the movie.
Absolutely.
But I gave it a 3.
Okay.
Because it does hold up. The shotgun scene holds up. Mm-hmm. A couple other things, but there are some parts in it that are questionable to me. Yeah. So I gave it a 3. It's passable.
I gave it a 5.
You gave it a 5?
Yeah, I really like the special effects in it. You know, like the doctor scene where he's hacking the hand off and amputating the foot and all that.
Yeah.
You know, it all just looked... It didn't look real, but it looked good.
Yeah.
And then for overall entertainment value, I think it starts strong, lags at the end. Overall, it's a fun movie, but I think it's more for established horror fans. And if you're not a diehard horror fan, you're going to be like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah, I give it a 3 for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think that was a forgiving 3 because I was real bored trying to get through it. But there were some things I didn't think about in a long time, like the fucking... Don't look at me.
Yeah.
And
don't you fucking look at me.
And that made me laugh, you know, and the rest in pieces motherfucker and all that stuff. So I give it a 3 in that, which brings my average to be 2.5.
Okay. I gave it a 3.5 for the overall entertainment, and my average was 3.5.
Okay. So,
but on average, all of my points ratings were a point higher than yours, too.
So you think that it holds up, and I think it doesn't hold up.
Yeah. It barely holds up, though.
Barely holds up to you. Yeah. Yeah, it was not as good as I remembered it. So
yeah.
All right, we got The Gate.
The Gate, 1987, directed by Tibor Takacs. It's a great name. Takacs. Biff Takacs. This is Stephen Dorff's first movie as a child.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, you know, those movies that I call boys and bikes with backpacks movies. You know, it's kids being
like
kids.
Stranger Things, kind of.
Yeah, or The Goonies or Stand By Me. You know, it's just that classic 80s thing that you can't. It's very hard to recapture in modern movies and TV.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, Super 8 did it pretty well, and Stranger Things did it very well. In this story, a kid and his sister are left home alone for the weekend as their parents go on vacation, and they discover a gate to a demon universe in their backyard after a tree is pulled up.
Yep.
And
a big hole in the ground.
Yeah, and the kid and his sister and the kid's weird latchkey kid headbanger nerd friend.
The best part by far of the movie is the nerdy friend.
Absolutely. He apparently, I haven't watched the sequel yet. I keep saying I'm going to. I just haven't had time. Apparently, part 2 is all about him as a teenager.
Oh, awesome. I don't remember part 2. I did see it, though, but that was back, I mean, when I was a kid. It's the last time I saw both of these movies till I recently rewatched The Gate 1. And that kid with the Sacrifice album in the Old God speech when he has the blanket wrapped around him. That's the best part of the movie.
Absolutely.
It's the most relatable part of the movie, being a little kid.
I remember being in that room.
Yeah,
listening to Black Sabbath or something like that in my room and playing guitar on a broom and feeling satanic.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that hold up in this movie, but there's some things to me that didn't hold up.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the actors are terrible besides the kids.
Yeah. Stephen Dorff was good. It was a good start. Krista Denton as the sister Al was okay. Louis Tripp as Terry is fucking awesome. Everyone else is either annoying or forgettable.
Yeah. Also, the levitation in the party scene was very laughable and horrible.
Yeah. It would have only been better if he had peed his pants.
Mm-hmm. Some of the demons are laughable, like the effects, but it's 1987. You gotta forgive it a little bit.
The thing about that, though, is like their costumes were stupid, but they did that all with forced perspective. That there was no digital shrinking of characters in that. That was all actors in suits being shot at weird angles to make it look like they were tiny, and that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
that part still looks.
It's
good.
like reverse Phantasm Tall Man.
Yeah,
because Angus Scrimm is not tall,
right?
But he's huge in Phantasm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the big demon with the little arms.
Yeah. It's a mixed bag on that because I love stop motion.
Yeah, me too.
And I love how that demon kind of came about, and I love its face, and it's just scary to think about.
The two tiny little arms.
Then it's got those two stupid
useless little arms.
Yeah. It's
kind of like Hellraiser 2,
or the stupid tiny arms on the Queen Alien, too.
Yeah. And then, to me, what holds up the most was, like I said, the old God speech he recites from the Sacrifice album.
Yeah.
The combination of horror and metal.
Yeah.
Deathgasm is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Brand new movie, Deathgasm, amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite movie of last year.
Still holds up.
And the horror and metal combination, it will always hold up. The line, when he takes the dog to the pet cemetery... And he's all, it's closed. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck? No vacancies.
You know what is funny as fuck, though, and it shouldn't be, is when Terry is going out into the hallway and he sees the ghost of his mom. And she's like, Terry, I love you. And it's all stupid. And he goes and hugs her. And you see, like, the back of her hair. And then it pans out and he's holding the dead dog. And I know it's supposed to be scary, but I was like...
You idiot. Another thing that really holds up is the buddy system. The buddies. The two buddies. Like, I love a good buddy comedy horror or buddy horror, where it's like two friends, It's the Bill and Ted syndrome.
Likable characters who actually like each other. Two likable characters
who are good friends, childhood terrors, also. It holds up, Being a kid and, nothing's scarier than when you're a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
And it happening to another kid when you're a kid. If watching that movie as a kid, it's a lot scarier because you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're not in the woods banging some girl, drinking some beers, and getting killed by Jason.
Right.
So it's a much more relatable to be like a dorky little kid with your dorky little kid friend.
Yeah, left home alone for the first time.
Left home alone, listening to metal, that kind of stuff. Much more relatable to
and
like
the scene
my childhood.
Where the parents come back, but they're not the parents. And they're demons. Like, thinking about that as a little kid, like, your parents are supposed to be people you can trust.
Yeah.
And they come back and they're evil, too.
Yeah.
You've been bad!
Yeah, that's another thing I said. You've been bad!
I like when it's on the phone and then the phone starts melting.
Yeah. The melting face.
Yeah.
The melting face of, that was a good part. Yeah. The eyes in the hand.
Yeah.
That was the best effect in the whole movie.
Yeah,
for sure. Really real. And then the Killer Dwarfs metal band backpatch.
Yeah. Yeah, I popped for that.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So... acting and characters, what do you give it?
I give it a 3.
I give it a 3.5. The acting is horrible, but the characters are great.
Right.
So, I mean, if we're doing acting and characters are more important to me than acting.
Yeah, for sure.
And those two characters were so awesome that I'll forgive the fucking sister, I'll forgive the party and the levitation, all that shit. So, story.
I give it a 4.
I give it a 5.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the story.
Yeah, great story.
I love the metal thing. The metal record.
Yeah,
bringing things out just like it's Deathgasm. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
maybe that's why Deathgasm is like The Gate remake, but different. If you think about it, you know. So I really like it.
That old metal guy could have been a member of Sacrifice.
Yeah. Cinematography.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 3.
I think I ranked it a little bit higher because of the forced perspective and because
the stop motion. Yeah. It's it takes a lot of skill to do that shit.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 3 because there's a couple parts that are a little shaky, don't hold up. As far as today's standards. Special effects.
I gave it a 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
Wow. I gave it a 2.5. I'd probably go up a little bit because of the melting face and the
eyeball hand.
And the eyeball hand. Those two effects were great.
Yeah.
But a lot of the little guys and stuff were pretty bad. If you watch it now, like, I don't know if with today's effects, if I show that movie to my kids, I don't know if they're going to be scared of it. I don't think they will.
Right, they probably laugh at it.
They would probably laugh at it because of the CGI of today and all that bullshit,
right.
you know. But back in the day...
But some of that stuff, like, if you think of, like, the special effects in Evil Dead... The special effects in Evil Dead are so cheap and they're so silly.
Yeah,
but they're still creepy as fuck.
Yeah, they're a lot scarier. It's just those tiny demons are not scary to me. When I rewatched it, I was thinking about me watching it as a kid. I was thinking about, like, if I showed this to my kids, they would not be scared of that.
Yeah.
Like the trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid are scarier than you know what I mean? They are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I really love the Hellgate effect and the lights and the smoke. It was
that
simply
was cool.
done. You know, the eye in the hand again.
Maybe 2.5 is too low, but for the sake of the fact that I have to divide and do mouth for my average,
right.
I'm just gonna leave it there.
Okay.
I'll pump it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll round up on my average. What about overall entertainment?
I gave that a 5.
I gave it a 5 as well.
I usually have to get up during movies and walk around and go do something, and I didn't the whole time.
Yeah.
And recently because I'm on painkillers and shit, I fall asleep pretty easily.
Yeah.
If I'm not focused on something, and I didn't. I stayed awake. I didn't get up and move around. I was just like, God, this is such a fucking good movie.
Yeah, it is. It was a trip back to the childhood, which I really appreciated. And my average, I'm going to pump it up. I'm going to round it up to 4 because I should have gave the special effects a little bit more. Talking about it, thinking about it, I should have given it maybe like a 3. So my average is going to be 4.
I gave it a 4.1 out of 5.
Okay, so we're right in line.
Yeah,
And,
so this movie definitely holds up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does.
And holds up way better than Evil Dead.
It does. And interesting side note, Alex Winter, Bill himself, was planning to direct a 3D remake in 2009. And with Freaked and shit, it would have been awesome to have Alex Winter at the helm of the Gate remake.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Yeah. You can even look online for the Gate 2009 3D storyboards. You can see the storyboards are all conceptualized and stuff, like the way the demons would look, everything. He released these storyboards even. And the demons were going to be designed by H.R. Geiger.
Whoa.
But after Geiger's death and the lack of the funding and the project kind of fizzling out at this point, I don't think it's ever going to happen because that was 2009.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to see Alex Winter at the helm of a remake of The Gate, even if it does happen.
Remade.
Yeah. I would love that though. H.R. Geiger and Alex Winter remaking The Gate.
That would be great.
Would support that remake.
Shit, that would probably be better than the original.
It probably would be. Yeah. So. All right, well, we hope you guys enjoyed the Nostalgia Killers. And we didn't even say those were 3.8 Canadian Cthulhu's.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We didn't even say the rating system.
Fucking Canadian.
With your complicated rating system making me do math, division, addition.
Your numbers. What am I, Chinese?
Yeah, get your abacus and go home. You take your abacus and you hit the road.
Jack.
All right, we will be back. Speaking of the Gate. That was the influence for this week's Top 5. Tiny Terrors. So we'll be back after this.
Hi! It's us. We're not a sponsor. We have no sponsor this week. So
we're self-sponsoring.
We're masturbating ourselves all over your ears. We're coming in your ear pussy.
Sponsoring off.
So, there's something really important we need to talk about.
And it's puppies.
It's not puppies. Look, we're going to keep this to a minimum.
Okay.
This is a short commercial.
Tangent commercials.
No tangent in the commercial.
Do you know about tangents?
So, we need your help. We need you to rate us, review us, and share this podcast with your friends.
If you listen,
your enemies. Share it with your enemies.
Share it. People you hate. Punish them with our voices.
Make them listen to it. Yeah. And also, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube.
Like it on YouTube.
SoundCloud.
Follow us on Twitter. We only have like 3 Twitter followers right now.
Because we don't ever have a tweet. What matters most is getting this out into more ear holes. We need your help for that.
Letting people know about it.
So also, if you're our friend or our follower on the Facebook there, make sure you click the notifications, get first, because we're not going to pay for those ads, so you see everything. You gotta work for it.
Yeah, click share.
We give you this shit for free.
And if you want to hear more about Doug Jones, because really that's what this is all about, click that share.
All right. Well, this has went on for way too long. And we appreciate you listening to Postmortem.
And we're back with the top 5 tiny terrors.
They're tiny, they're terrible, they're... I don't know.
They're not the Animaniacs.
That's right.
Because they will kill you.
In the face.
They will.
Small things that fuck you up.
Small things that want to hurt you and or do horrible, unspeakable things to your corpse after you're dead.
But aren't insects.
But aren't insects, because we already did bugs.
Yeah.
And aren't kids, because we already did kids. So those are 2 of the qualifiers.
Right. Midgets are okay, though.
Yeah, midgets are okay. Yeah, I got a midget on there. I got a midget or 2.
Actually, yeah, I got a couple.
This is all midgets.
Yeah.
No.
Most of my list actually is midgets or, midgets in costumes.
All right, well, you want me to start us off this time?
Sure.
My number 5 is a tie between 2 very similar characters. The Zuni doll from Trilogy of Terror and the dolls from Tales from the Hood.
Nice.
You know those little dolls?
Yeah.
It's kind of similar concepts.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Dolls made by black people that will kill your white ass.
Stab you in the feet with their little spears.
Yeah, the Zuni doll is more terrifying. The Tales from the Crypt dolls are funny. But I really wanted that fucking racist guy to die in Tales from the Hood. I love Tales from the Hood.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And it holds up, even being like a childhood movie. Like, you got the Dagster, David Allen Greer with his monster tattoo.
Yeah. The Dags.
The Dags. And yeah, I really like that. And Trilogy of Terror, the Zuni doll is the best part. So
yeah, for sure. It stands out. I mean, it's on all the box art. It's sort of the iconic thing.
It is. The only thing that came out of that really holds up is the Zuni doll.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
My number 5 is the Ghoulies from Ghoulies.
Ghoulies. It's on my honorable mention.
I fucking love that movie.
They'll get you in the end. And he's coming out of a toilet.
Coming out of the toilet. Yeah, it came out at the same time as, the Gremlins knockoff critters and all that.
Yeah.
But the Ghoulies had individual personalities.
They did, and really they're liked. Funny.
And did you see the second one where they go to college?
Yeah.
I've got a DVD that has them both on there. And I love those fucking movies. They're just so silly and stupid and like not scary at all.
Yeah, but it's still entertaining.
It's a movie that you show to kids that you're trying to get.
Yeah, I liked it as a kid. It doesn't have tits and shit though. I can't remember.
They'll see it eventually.
All right, number 4. My number 4 has made multiple appearances. This is a movie I love. Some people might be controversial for my labeling it on a horror movie list, but The Trolls from Ernest Scared Stupid.
Nice.
Are my number 4. I love me some Ernest, as we all know.
Yeah.
And the Trolls are awesome.
Yeah, they are. Good costuming, too.
Kenny. And he turns around, and the Troll's on his bed. He looks underneath it. He looks underneath the bed because he hears the Troll. He thinks the Troll's going to be underneath the bed. He turns around. He's on the bed. He hears her say his name. He turns around. Troll is on the bed. It's on the bed next to him.
Right there.
It's not underneath. It was right next to him.
Yeah.
And he's got that sickle.
Yeah.
He turns Rimshot into a wooden dog. How am I going to play fetch with a wooden dog?
Use shit.
He has 2 noses that are connected.
That's right.
I bet he can breathe underwater really well.
I probably eat pussy really good too. Not never have to stop to
that
breathe.
slime all over it.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's terrible. And then all the trolls are different. They all look different.
Yeah, they all have personalities too.
Yeah, one's like an eggplant. The one with a mace is like an eggplant head.
Yeah.
And you got just a bunch of different ones.
Someone was real high when they came up with that.
Yeah, nothing can stop them besides Miak. I bet you didn't think I could get it this time of year. Miak.
I gotta watch that movie again. I haven't seen that in years.
Dude, it's awesome. It holds up big time.
Yeah.
I've probably watched it. My girls love that shit. We watch it. We've probably seen it. They've probably seen it like 10 times, which means I've probably seen it like 20 times.
Right.
And it still does hold up. It's the best Ernest by far.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Goes to Jail is really good too, but that one is, it dips into the horror genre.
Yeah, I'd say it would go like Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah.
And then there were other ones that I didn't see.
Yeah, Slam Dunk Ernest. Ernest Goes to Africa.
Ernest went to Africa?
Yeah, Ernest Goes to Africa.
Is it racist as fuck?
He's got a spear on the cover and he's got war paint on. But he's still got his costume on, his hat and his vest. And
oh, man.
Yeah, there's
Scraping the
Ernest
barrel
rides again. Yeah, Those ones are all terrible. The first, not the first, but those are the best 4.
Yeah.
And I would say Camp is less so than all the others.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. It was the first movie, so they were just kind of getting their footing. But yeah, and I remember those trolls being really, really good animatronics and costumes and everything.
Yeah, and practical.
Yeah, they put work into them.
Yeah, it was really good.
My number 4, we've talked about them before, the Tall Man's Minions, a.k.a. the Death Jawas from Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead.
Yeah, they're on my honorable mentions.
I love those things. They
Murder Jawas.
Murder Jawas.
Yeah, they're good.
I hope we see some of them in Phantasm Ravager.
You could also go with the ball.
The ball's a tiny terror.
They are tiny terrors.
Yeah.
My balls are a tiny terror. If you're lucky tonight, I'm gonna horrify you, baby.
Let's get scared.
Let's get scared. My little blade is gonna stick out of my balls
and stab you in the forehead.
Right in the forehead with a big jet of blood come down.
You know, when we were talking about the bugs, I totally forgot about the fly scene in, I think it's the second Phantasm, where they have to kill it in the garbage disposal. It's like a giant fly.
Oh, yeah. That is pretty good. Yeah. Phantasm is good.
Yeah.
It holds up.
Phantasm is a product of cocaine.
And number 3 is the best.
Yeah, for sure.
By far.
For sure. They just went completely
Number 1
off
is
the
a
rails.
little slow nowadays.
Yeah,
it holds up. I would say if we did it on our Nostalgia Killers, it does hold up, but a little slower than number 3.
Right. I'd say like 2, 3, 1 is probably my order. Or sorry, 3, 2, 1, I mean.
Yeah. And then 4, you talk about 4.
Yeah.
At all, have you seen it?
Yeah. Wait.
It's the worst.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Is Ravager's 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen 4.
It's not that good.
Oh, maybe I'll avoid it.
So, my number 3 are the puppets from Puppet Master.
Nice.
Blade, the Leech Woman,
Pinhead,
Torch. What else did you got? You got a bunch. I can't think of any others.
What was
the Jester?
Yeah, the Jester. Yeah, he had a different name though. Didn't
really?
he? I don't know.
Puppet Master 2 is the best Puppet Master.
Yeah, for sure.
To me, and number 1 is good because it has that classic actor, the old man.
Yeah.
You know, as Toulon. He's in the same as that Tales from the Crypt episode. Have you ever seen that Tales from the Crypt episode?
Yeah.
And then he starts paying the younger guy to look like him.
Right.
Take his muscles and his hair, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, not at all. Because it was the late 80s. Yeah. They were starting to come off of their cocaine high and still try to milk it for all it was worth.
He's also the grandpa in the Jerky Boys movie. The Next Door Neighbor.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. You expect these fucking cocks to hold us? When he slings, they're climbing down on ropes of hot dogs?
Yeah.
Think these fucking cocks will hold us?
Junkie.
I love the Jerky Boys movie. Anyways, that's a tangent and a half. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the Troll in Cat's Eye.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. With his little axe wanting to fuck people up.
Yeah.
Having to fight the cat, getting thrown into the fan.
Yeah.
That's one of the first horror movies. I know it's not the first horror movie I ever saw, but it's one of the first that I really remember.
I used to always get confused on Sleepwalkers and Cat's Eye. Because they're both Stephen King, aren't they?
Yeah. And Sleepwalkers is about, then they're cat people.
Yeah, so, cat people, and then Cat's Eye, and I know which is which.
Yeah, Cat's Eye was the anthology, but everything was following the cat from place to place.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Such a great movie.
Yeah, it's good. I need to rewatch that. I haven't seen that since I was a little kid, so that's why it's not on my list, because I couldn't even remember it. So.
The mafia-backed agency that helps people stop smoking was my favorite entry on that, because they come and like cut your fingers off and like torture your family if you smoke cigarettes.
How many stories does that have?
I think it's 5.
I got to rewatch that. I'll probably watch that this weekend.
Yeah, the troll is the last story, and that's like the
best one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta check that fucker out. I haven't seen it in a long time. So okay, number two for me. Number 2 is the Leprechaun.
He's my 0.
He's your 0.
Yeah.
Lep in the Hood, come to do no good. Come to do no good.
We're gonna have to end every episode with that song now, so we keep getting dinged for copyright violations.
Yeah, definitely.
The other stuff.
Yeah, the pogo stick scene.
Yeah.
And the first one, I love Leprechaun 1. Leprechaun 2 is pretty good. Leprechaun 3 is a little out. They came back with Lep in the Hood.
Yeah, they came back with a vengeance on that.
And Back to the Hood is not so good.
Yeah.
But the first Leprechaun in the Hood holds up. Ice-T pulling the baseball bat out of his afro.
Which is one in space?
4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Hood is 5.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Ralphus from Bloodsucking Freaks.
Okay.
The little midget with the mustache and the afro, and he's kind of perverted and cannibalistic and always trying to kill people.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good one. You know that in WCW, Chris Jericho used to come out with that guy, and his name was Ralphus with the little short shirt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He said Jerichoholics. He took the name Ralphus from Bloodsucking Freaks to give that guy.
Nice.
Interesting little tidbit that nobody cares about that's listening to this besides us. Hold number 1, armbar.
Double-fisted Ralphus.
You got anything else to say about the Ralphus?
No, I mean, I'm sure most of our audience has seen Bloodsucking Freaks. If you haven't seen Bloodsucking Freaks, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Like, it's essential watching.
It is.
It's a trauma movie, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah,
and
one of their better ones.
Yeah, it's high grade trauma. Yeah,
it is.
It's very. It's like if trauma was doing a Roger Corman movie, and they had to incorporate the peeping Tom perverted midget. Yeah, that was Ralphus.
My number 1 are the Gremlins.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Number 1,
yeah,
by far. Many can imitate, but never as good as the original.
Yeah, so never duplicate.
Yeah, you got the Mogwais.
Yeah,
the nice one.
Yeah,
and you got Stripe, the badass.
Stripe's a dick.
Gizmo, caca. Gizmo is a little cutie though.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone wanted a Mogwai until you see what happens.
Yeah, and Gremlins has a lot. It's a comedy, it's a horror, it's a Christmas movie, it's a kids movie. It's got a lot going for it.
Yeah, it's very. Were there other Mogwais, or was I mean I know that like when he gets wet he springs off Mogwais, but they're all fucked up and evil. Is there any other good Mogwai?
He's the only good one.
He's like the white sheep of the family.
Yeah, because they turn out bad when they're like replicated or something.
Yeah.
But
so where did Gizmo come from?
I don't know. What came first, the Gizmo or the Gremlins?
That's right. Yeah, maybe he's like the sociopath version of Gremlins. And his little...
That was really good.
I practiced.
You can't hit those next notes, though.
No. No, I can't. It's Howie Mandel doing that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, Howie Mandel was Gizmo.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
His voice.
Bald-ass germophobic motherfucker.
I think he had hair at the time.
Don't touch my hands. Don't touch me. You'll infect me. He's crazy.
Yeah,
he's fucking
he's a
crazy,
weird dude. I remember I saw his stand-up live when I was a kid. Like my parents went, and I went with them, and he put a condom over his head, and then it, like breathed into it to inflate it.
Really? How?
Yeah, I've done it. You can just pull a condom over your head, like you leave your mouth exposed, then you breathe out of your nose, and the condom inflates.
Wow. Terrible.
That's the only thing that I remember about that.
The Post-Mortem Show, now sponsored by Trojan. The thing I remember most about Howie Mandel is Bobby's World.
Yeah. That was a good show.
Fucking Bobby.
Or Little Monsters.
Big Wheel. Yeah, Little Monsters, that's his best role.
How did he have all that makeup on, though, if he's such a germaphobe? You know, because you'd have to be touched by people for 4 hours a day in that chair. He must have not been one at that point.
He must have evolved, As he got richer and richer, he becomes more germophobic.
All Howard Hughes and shit.
Yeah, for sure. Wash my hands. Wash my hands. That's the end song of today's episode. The band, The Rotters, the song of Howard Hughes. Wash my hands. Wash my hands. I'm not crazy. Wash my hands. Wash my hands.
That's awesome. Ballad of Howie Mandel.
Yes, it is the Ballad of the Houster. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is King Fausto of the Sixth Dimension from the movie Forbidden Zone.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's directed by Richard Elfman of Oingo Boingo.
Oh, you told me about it, but I had not seen it.
It's a black and white, weird exploitation musical. And Hervé Villachez, who was the dude from Fantasy Island that used to go, "The plane, boss, the plane."
Yeah.
He plays King Fausto of the Sixth Dimension, and he's like a sex-obsessed necrophiliac. Like his wife dies, and he feels up her tits one last time before he lets her go. I think they just repeatedly call him perverted King Fausto, and that's what he is. You know, he's just a little midget in a suit who, you know, is looking up skirts, and if you piss him off, he has you murdered. And not a nice guy at all.
I gotta see that. Yeah, you told me about it before, and I put it on my list, but I forgot all about it. So I will be checking that out, and especially I got to see Cat's Eye again because I remember liking it as a kid, but I can tell you one thing about it besides that troll.
Maybe we'll nostalgia murder that one next.
Okay. Sounds good. We got a couple episodes to go back to our old formats. We got an interview or two we're going to be going to. We got going back to the good and bad. Maybe another Dom and JD at the movies if we can get it in.
Yeah.
All right. Honorable mentions.
Go ahead.
The Ghoulies. The Demonic Toys.
Yeah.
And if you got to have the Demonic Toys, you also got to have Doll Man.
And Blood Dolls.
And Blood Dolls. Remember Doll Man?
Yeah, Doll Man was good.
And then Doll Man versus the Demonic Toys?
That was not good.
And then Critters.
Yeah, the Krites.
Yeah, the Krites from Critters. The Gate was on my honorable mentions. It wasn't going to make the list because we were doing the Nostalgia Killers. Too much Gate in one episode.
Yeah.
Munchies.
Munchies.
You ever seen Munchies?
Yeah.
Dude, Munchies is awesome.
I don't even
That's what we got in
movie.
Nostalgia Killers.
Yeah. I don't remember anything in that movie.
I remember it being awesome and I remember it being funny, so we gotta rewatch that shit.
Okay.
Subspecies.
Yeah, the little vampire
little
demon
tiny
things.
little guys.
Yeah.
It's a tie between the alien face huggers and the chest burster from Alien. They are tiny.
Yeah.
They do get bigger, but
Yeah, they fuck you up.
they do. The murder Jawas from Phantasm. Belial from Basket Case.
Yeah.
And the little ashes from Army of Darkness.
That's a good one.
Down the hatch. How's about some hot chocolate?
Fucking Bruce Campbell. Probably improvising all that.
Yeah.
My honorable mentions, the Garbage Pail Kids from the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
Yep.
I'm not sure if they're actually supposed to be kids, but because they're aliens, but they were, especially the alligator one. Eyeball a day keeps the doctor away. The Krites from Critters, the Monster and the Frasian Evil Ed.
Yeah.
The Goblins of Nilbog and Troll 2.
Oh god, Troll 2.
Hans the Midget Butler from Waxwork.
Oh yeah, that's a good
You're
one.
supposed to ring the bell.
Yeah, Waxwork. I haven't thought about that shit in years.
I loved that movie as a kid. It's another one that you should go back and watch. I just remember Hans sticking out so much because he's a fucking angry German midget in a tuxedo.
This is something too that I remember it most because of the box art. I remember the movie, but the box art on some of these iconic VHS tapes when you go to the store.
Yeah, because the box art was the door opening with all the weird things behind it, and then Hans in front of it with a little tray.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, these kids nowadays, not to sound like an old man, I'm only 31, but kids nowadays will never have this experience that we had of going to the video store and seeing a wall of all these cool box art.
Yeah.
80s box art was the best.
Yeah, and
nowadays all the fucking shitty B-horror movies have that really CGI kind of box art. It looks like shit.
It's like one character's concerned face from the profile, and then a shape in the background, and then the words.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. And I have one more. A movie called City of Lost Souls by our old friend Takashi Mike.
I don't think I've seen that one.
The character is only in the movie briefly, and I don't even know what his name is, but he's a midget who brushes his teeth with cocaine.
Good old Takashi Michael.
And then passes the fuck out from too much drugs.
That's good old Takashi Mike.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with our friend Takashi Mike.
Old Mikey.
Takashi Miike, or Mike, or Michael.
Michelle.
Call him Takashi Michel in France.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Tiny Terrors, not the strongest list we've ever had.
It's a short list.
Good one. Ba-boom. So, next week, what are we doing? We had a couple options. Do you want to do clowns? Do you want to do European horror movies if we can get our guest on? Do you want to do... What else?
Yeah, let's shoot for the guest and see if we can get him. Let's do the Euro. If not, then
all right.
I'm good with clowns.
Clowns? Tiny Terrors are done. Crossing it off the list. It was a short list. It's crossed off. Moving on to some clowns. Or maybe European horror movies. If we can get our favorite European. European horror movies that involve clowns.
I wonder if there are any. I mean, I'm sure there are, but
it's more of an American thing.
Yeah. Coulrophobia.
Okay, guys.
Have you seen the box art not the box art, the concept art for the new It?
I did, yeah.
It looks pretty creepy.
That's actually what made me want to do the clowns list. Was It? So we'll see. You join us next week. You might get clowns. You might get European horror movies. We'll see.
Yep.
Only time will tell.
The dudes who made Stranger Things actually were hitting up TV companies and saying, "Hey, we want to remake It." And they kept telling him no, and now the movie's being remade. But I bet they would have done it better than whoever's doing it.
Stranger Things actually shopped around and
like
no
15
one would,
networks said
no one would pick it up, and then finally Netflix. I'm glad it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's it for our Tiny Terrors episode.
Yep.
Join us next week when you might get some clowns, you might get some Euro horror. Only time will tell.
We're unpredictable like that.
We are.
Could be something completely different because we could forget.
That's very likely. That's most likely out of the three.
That's right. And as H.P. Lovecraft once said while chaining a midget to a stove, if it smells like fish,
throw that little guppy back.
Splash.
Midget is a midget. 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 Midget is a midget. Word. Midget is a midget. Midget. Midget is a midget.
The little man knows all.
Life's got me mad, but if I had a midget, I'd be glad to watch him jump around on my Nintendo Power Pad. He'd have a big head, short legs, and long torso. The name that I give my pet midget is Little Gordo. I teach him tricks like backflips and side kicks. When company came over, he'd perform and get tips. While I'm eating at night, in the kitchen he'd be able to get the food scraps that I threw under the table. If my midget was ever bad and acted enraged, then I'd take him to the bathroom and put him in his cage. But if he kept acting up and really made me sick, I'd hang him upside down and poke him with a stick. Little Gordo would be good most of the time though. He'd like to wear a helmet and run around yelling hi-yo. I take him for walks in the park on the weekends, and if he saw other midgets he'd say, can we be friends? He'd only need a 3-foot coffin when he was dead, and he'd be in the Guinness Book for the world's biggest head. With a funny little fellow, but don't call him a shrimp, or he'll attack your leg, cause Gordo's a tough gimp. He'd have a pogo ball that he'd bounce on for hours, and dirty little fathead Gordo wouldn't take showers. When Halloween came, he wouldn't be a chump, getting all the candy going around as a tree stump.
Midget is a midget. Midget